need to click go live on Instagram.
Yeah. So we're live right now, but see if the Instagram pops up. Well, we're live on YouTube. See if anybody pops in. I guess the Padres just won, right?
Yep, sounds about right, man. Padres have secured the wild card. Now they're heading into NLDS to face the Dodgers in the upcoming days.
Which is pretty cool. I guess it's a rematch of 2022. Yeah, 2022. I'm trying to get the Instagram to work, but anyway, I guess I didn't get the right link or something's not working right. I'll get it working. Well, if you haven't done so, we're gonna talk about baseball. We're gonna talk about the 4 games that happened today. There is one game that's gonna happen tomorrow, so we'll get into it. Of course, I mean we just heard the Padres just beat the Braves. They're moving on. They're gonna face the Dodgers on Saturday. But let's go ahead and talk about the Astros, man. That was the first game of the day. And dude, the Astros did not show up the way they've been showing up the past playoffs. This time it looked like they went in with a cast. They took the cast off and they were barely walking into the playoffs. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree there with you, Carlos. This Astro team looked very different this year. It's a team that had been in the previous 7 ALCS. It's not looking good for this Astro team going forward. They're looking much older. You're talking about a team where Bregman, his finally contract year's up, and it doesn't seem like he may even be back with the Astros next season. You're talking about Justin Verlander's up in age now. Jordan Alvarez was dealing with a knee sprain in the last week of the season. That really hurt him today. It was an important matchup today. They must-win situation, and your top 3 of your batting order go 0 for 9 with Altuve, Tucker, and Alvarez not showing up. It's one of those things, man. This Astro team was this close, but this Tiger team wanted a little bit more. And you have AJ Hinch, a previous Astros manager, which knew where to pinpoint what weaknesses this team really had. He knows where to pitch to Altuve. He knows where to pitch to Bregman. He once coached them, and he knows where they like to hit and where they don't like to hit. So this was a AJ Hinch monumental series for him. A great win for this Tiger organization that is much needed. They haven't won in a long time, so it was great to see. But what is the future with the Astros? What did you see from them this week? I mean, they look flat.
They look really flat, and the pitching was okay. They held their own. It's just their hitting. It wasn't doing them any justice. Like you just said, the first 3 hitters weren't hitting, dude. And then when you have hitters that are like they're getting on base, you don't have anybody to move on along and produce those runs. And when you see the Tigers team, and you see that you're kind of looking at a team that there's no superstars. If you look at that team, you're looking what Tyreek pitched yesterday, Tuesday, and then from there you're like, wait, what happens? What's next? Who's pitching for the Tigers? And a lot of people are out there saying like, what the hell? Who's there? Like, so you have Metals that he hit a freaking bomb out there. So if you don't know who he is, look him up. He has a nice lefty swing. Kind of looks a little bit like Kyle Tucker. It kind of resembled it a little, but yeah, dude, it was one of those series where everybody felt the Astros were going to come on top. And no, it's just the Tigers just were that scrappy team, that just felt like, hey, we belong here. We're going to beat the Astros. We're going to prove a point. And they did it, dude. They won 2. They swept the series. I know it's a short series, but dude, if the Tigers would have lost this game, it would have put them in a bigger predicament than just, go ahead and winning the second game. You said it. It's harder to win that second game because you have to go ahead and win that second game. You don't want to get to the third game because then momentum gets lost, right? You told me this today, and I was like, yeah, you're right. You want to go in there and win the second game.
Yeah, this wildcard series is totally different than it normally would be for another series, right? You have 3 games, basically best of 2. Once you win the first game, you have to go must win for game 2. There's no way you're going back, especially on the road for the Tiger team, a young, talented team that AJ Hinch just has them playing at another level. They're sneaky, man. They play really well defensively. They do the right things. They move the runners over, and they're good at just getting slice base hits to get the runners in. This is a team that knocked down the trash cans. Looks like Javi's joining in. Thank you, man. Here. Yeah, I know. All America's happy today. I think we're all celebrating that Detroit was able to take down the trash can Astros. It was about damn time. I want to say that. And as an Angel fan, it's nice to see them finally out. I think Dodger fans will say the same. But it's an exciting series, man. This AJ Hinch, what a terrific job he did. Tarek Schoolwood last night also proved that he is the AL Cy Young and he's unhittable. And now today was a bullpen game, and they found ways to pinpoint where to put the pitchers in,
Yeah.
where he needed to be to get him out. You know, this eighth inning was an interesting one, man. It was a tie game going into the eighth, and Andy Ibanez, a guy that I could tell you like more than 50% of MLB fans don't even know who he
I
is.
think it's more than 50%. I think it's like 70, 80%.
Okay,
yeah,
you're right. A lot of people don't know who Andy Ibanez is, but he just
no,
made a name for himself today. He
yeah,
cleared that was not a grand slam, but he cleared all the runs with bases loaded, and he brought in the 3 runs. He needed to do his job, and he delivered. And
he
this is
delivered.
where the Tigers were able to sneak this win today, and they have swept the Astros. I don't think we all saw it coming. I thought Game 2 was going to be an Astro game, just the way it was going to be a bullpen game for the Tigers. What amazing series, Carlos. And I'd ask you this: what's next for this Astros team now going forward? Because it's not looking pretty.
Well, they need to get healthy first. I mean, that's one of the things that you can't just hate on the Astros like we all do, right? But you kind of have to understand that they were injured all season. They had pitchers going in and out. They had Tucker going in and out. They had Alvarez. He wasn't himself all year. Altuve basically was the only one that was playing pretty good baseball all year. You had Bregman that he was kind of lost for like a period of time, and you didn't have your superstar. So you're saying they're not going to sign Bregman next year. They're going to go ahead and get their rookie playing at third base. So they have their spots filled already with rookies coming up next year. Remember, the Astros are not disappointing in their freaking farm system. Remember, they have a good farm system. They have all these guys, all these kids ready to play. It's just they're waiting for the old Astros to move along and move away like Bregman. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're just going to get younger. They're going to get more, I guess, what do you call it? You're going to get more experience with the older guys and showing these kids, because you need that experience. A lot of people think that when you're an old timer, you're done and that's it. No, an old timer serves his time, and he, gives that time to the younger players. And I think that's what's going to happen with the Astros. Do I feel like they're going to miss the playoffs next year? Nah, you can never count the Astros out. I think they're going to continue to do pretty good next year. So.
No, I totally agree with you. I think the Astros were just a bit banged up in their starting rotation. They lost a lot of main pitchers this year. You have Christian Javier that went down, Luis Garcia, Jose Urquidy, and then if I'm not mistaken, Lance McCullers. Those are 4 starters, guys. You guys got to remind yourself that in this league to win, you need starting rotation to get deep into this playoff rotation. Framber Valdez could only do so much, and then when you have a banged up Jordan Alvarez, that guy's a beast, man. And if he's not healthy, that's just not going to work out for you.
Yeah, it's not. And I just want to go ahead and say before we move on to the next series, Ibanez came off the bench to get that pinch hit triple, or was it a double? I forget what it was. I don't know if it was a double or triple. After they threw it home, he went to third base and he was already at third base. But he came off the bench to get that triple, double, whatever it is. And another thing is the pitching from the Astros did strike out 13 batters from the Tigers. You can see how young they are by how many times they strike out, but they came with that clean hit that they needed, and they did what they needed to do. All right, let's go to the next one, man. And the next one, it kind of feels like it's been happening to the Orioles time and time again, and they do not get that win that they deserve. We've been saying how good the Orioles been during the season, and it's becoming something to where, like, okay, are they choking? Right? So, I mean, that's what's happening now, right?
You're totally right, man. It's a team with back-to-back season looking strong offensively all season long. Playoff time comes around and you ask yourself, where is this offense at? They're not showing up. We're asking yourselves, where's Gunnar Henderson? Where is Adley Rutschman? Where's Anthony Santander? Your main core players are just not delivering. And even with the rotation, Corbin Burns went 8 innings plus. He tried to hold down the lead for you guys, and even the offense just did not come up and show up. This is a scenario where we're kind of concerned for this Oriole team. You're talking about a team that's lost 10 straight playoff games, and it's known for a history of not really winning much. And if you're an Orioles fan, you're got to be concerned because you're starting to think, I think we need to add some more veterans in this lineup. It's too young of a team. Even with their pitching rotation, even in the middle of the lineup, you need to add some veterans because it's not going to work out. You have this Royals team that is also young, but you have a mixture of rookies, young kids with veterans like Salvador Perez, and that's just a good combination. And Bobby Witt was a difference maker in this series, guys. Back-to-back days with the go-ahead singles to bring in the run. Great defensive play at short today. It's one of those guys, man, that he's a difference maker, man, and he's a future Hall of Famer in this game, and as much watch TV have you seen Bobby Witt.
And if you don't remember, we had an next episode and we talked about who was a better shortstop, and I believe we both went with Bobby Witt Jr. And this is the reason why we did it, because he's getting paid money. This is what he's getting paid for right now, to make the playoffs and show up. This is what he did. And I mean, look, the Orioles struck out 13 times today. They had the bases loaded. They struck out. They didn't get anything across. They couldn't do anything. It was just one of those teams that they showed up to play, but they forgot their bats in the dugout. And to me, I feel like the Orioles should have been out there scoring at least 6 runs against a Kansas City team that was like surging for a run. I don't know. I felt like they were crying for a run and they got it. And their pitching just held the Orioles batting lineup to like 0 in the first game and 1 run the second one. So you mean to tell me that the Orioles can't move past that 10 in a row in the playoffs? That doesn't do it. And you just said it, and we've been saying it all year long. They need a veteran presence in that lineup. Doesn't matter who it is, as long as he has playoff experience, put him in there. The Orioles need that. They went and get someone from the White Sox. I mean,
Eloy Jimenez.
Eloy Jimenez, that's not enough. You need something else. Maybe go get a Bregman next year. Someone that can tell you the winning ways or the cheating ways.
No,
the winning ways. But something that he can bring along and show the team how to win and how to get to October and win some games there, because that's where it really counts. But yeah, man, I think the Orioles, to me, they're not going anywhere for a few years. They're still young. They're still good. It's disappointing year after year going to the playoffs and not doing anything with it.
No, and I mean, we can't really be upset at the Orioles, can we really? Just last previous show, we showed you guys how many injuries the Orioles were really dealing with already to begin with. They went into this playoff series all banged up. Brandon Hyde was just proud of his team for even making it this far and even contending for the wild card, given the injury amount. You had your starter Grayson Rodriguez that you really depended on, Kyle Bradish, 2 main core pitchers that you really needed deep for this playoff run, and you didn't get that. Jackson Holliday, still a young kid. Colton Cowser, are probably the rookie of the year this season, who fell a little short, with bases loaded in the 5th inning. You were expecting some runs, and they came out short. He struck out, even though he got hit by the pitch. It was not pretty, and that's where it all went downhill for the Orioles today. Yeah. I don't think nobody expected the Orioles to get swept today, but this Royals team is, have a really good, strong bullpen, man, and they shut it down for this Oriole team, and they're going to put a fight against this Yankee team for sure.
They are, and it's going to be pretty interesting, so we'll get to see that. So let's move on to the next series, and this one's the Brewers and Mets. Yesterday, the Mets came through, and they won their game, and of course, the Brewers, if you didn't see the game today, they started off pretty hot. Chiriot hit a home run, and Jackson Chiriot is doing what he needs to do. I want to talk about him first, since yesterday, after he missed that ball, I guess the Mets scored all those runs, and today something similar happened in on base, where Frankie Montas missed that ball at first base, and the Mets scored all those runs. When you're in playoffs and you make an error, they're going to make you pay for it. And the Mets capitalized on it, dude. I feel like the Brewers need to stop making errors if they want to go ahead and move to the next round. It's the only game that's going to happen tomorrow, by the way. So, I mean, do you agree, right? Do you agree with that?
No, totally agree. This is a Brewers team that fell off short on the defensive side, but Jackson Chiriot saved them today. And Garrett Mitchell coming clutch in the bottom of the 8th to hit a 2-run bomb. Right now, Phil Madden, if I'm saying that wrong, he's probably not very liked right now in New York. And these Metropolitan fans are really upset with their relief pitcher. But it's one of those where the Mets team capitalized on these mistakes, and that's why they've been able to come back time and time again. But, man, going to game 3, it's going to be a close one for sure. But this Jackson Chiriot kid is special, man. We're seeing a future all-star in the MLB with him, 20 years old, already hitting a multi-home run game today. And, yes, he missed the play yesterday in the outfield, but he also made a great one. So it's one of those where he's still young. The pressure's on. He's going to make his mistakes, but he was able to fight back today to put his team in position to win. So you got to give him credit where credit is due. He is only 20 years old, but I think other than that, the other Brewer players have to step it up, man. I really think that it just shouldn't come down to the 20-year to put you in that position. You got Rhys Hoskins that has experience. You have Willie Adames, the Contreras catcher. They got to step it up. They got to provide offensively just the same.
Contreras too, dude. He hasn't been producing. He hasn't been doing much either. Willie Adames, as you just said, I think Willie Adames is focused on. I guess they were
Contract year?
fighting. Is it contract? Yeah, it's contract year, but it's
Contract year?
playoffs. It's playoffs, and this is where he needs to show up because most of your contract money comes from you showing up in playoffs. Fortunate for him, he has another game tomorrow, and he'll be able to do good. They're gonna the pitching match for tomorrow is Quintana for the Mets, and then Myers for the Brewers, and it's going to be pretty interesting. They're both are pretty similar, and I guess ERA, well, a little bit off for for Quintana. He's a little bit higher ERA than when Myers has, but I mean, it's going to be up to the bullpens. I think it's going to be a bullpen game. I think it's only going to be 2-3 innings that these starters are going to go, and then just bring in your bullpen. And I think what the theme of this year is bullpen. Having a great bullpen will take you all the way. And since all these injuries has been happening in the starting pitching, we cannot skip any of these teams to say they don't have a good bullpen. No, I think they all have a good bullpen, and that's what got them here. So yeah, dude,
man. You're talking about a team that almost had it today. They had the lead. One guy just did not have it today, and that was the difference maker, man. But you're right. The bullpen has been the difference maker for both teams here, and whoever comes out clutch with the runners in position is going to get the win tomorrow. But I'm still rooting for the Mets. I think they're still going to have what it takes to go to the next round, and they're just playing at a higher intensity, higher level. You did mention how Jesse Winker, started some beef with Adames yesterday as he was running towards second. There is some tension between two teams that they don't like each other, man. So it's going to be a battle, and we're excited to see a Game 3 go down tomorrow as the only game in MLB.
Yeah, at least we get to see one game, because then Friday there's no games again. You're like, wow. What do we do? What are we going to watch?
Exactly, man. Like I said, these 3-game series, man, are just a little different. The intensity is at another level that we've never seen. Much quicker series. Teams that have to take it seriously. You lose one, and you can't afford to lose another game. You got to go 100%, or else you're going to go sitting at home watching playoffs like everyone else.
Yep. All right, let's move on to the last game. And this was the last game that happened today, which is the Padres and the Braves. And I mean, from the get-go, the first game, it looked like the Padres were just dominating the Braves to me. And I just felt like the Braves were a little tired from that Monday series. They played a doubleheader. And I'm not trying to make excuses, or I'm not trying to say, look, the Braves did not. No, it's just the Padres overpowered the Braves. They looked really good on Monday. Today, they put up a fight, which was a lot better. I got to see the Braves show a little bit of fight, maybe because they did sleep a little bit longer today. They got to rest, they got to eat, they got to, practice, and they got their little game in. So, I mean, I just feel like the Padres are clicking on all cylinders right now. Their fans are on it. The whole stadium is loud. I mean, did you hear the game today? How loud it was?
Definitely, man. That Petco Park is at another level that we've ever seen. It's probably the loudest MLB stadium we have going on. You're totally right, man. This Padres team is clicking offensively, pitching-wise, bullpen-wise, you name it. They have no gaps. Everything's just working perfect in their favor. There is some sad news for the Padre fans, though, today. Joe Musgrove did leave the game a bit early in the 4th inning with some elbow discomfort, which is being released right now. It looks like he probably won't be back in this playoff series. How big of an impact is that going to be for the Padres? Because now you lose a starter there. You have Darvish, which has a lot of experience, but you also bring Dylan Cease and Michael King. Is that enough?
You hate when a player goes down, especially when you have a rivalry, which you say it's a rivalry. I accept that rivalry now. I told you, look. I thought about it. I went to sleep, and I'm like, you know what? We faced the Padres a lot more in the playoffs than we have the Giants. And the Giants, we only faced them once, and we beat them that one series. But with the Padres, it seems like it's been happening more often. Kind of like the Yankees, Red Sox, right? It's been happening where they've been facing off in the playoffs. I wish it was a 7-game series, because it's more of a championship, I feel. So I think with the Padres losing Musgrove, I think this is something that it sucks for baseball, because we want the two teams to be, at full capacity. I'm not making excuses for the Dodgers having any injuries. I feel like the Dodgers can go in there and compete and can win the series if they play it smart. But then you have the Padres, like I said, they're clicking on all cylinders. They just gonna have to break that down and get into their heads. And Manny Machado, he gets mad really fast, and if you get into his head, it seems like the whole Padre train goes down from there. So we'll see what happens. But I hate that Musgrove it got injured though. I really do, because you do
Yeah,
want the best team out there.
you're totally right. It's a huge loss for the Padres team. It's a guy that's missed significant time this season, and you finally get him back for the playoff run, and he's gone again. So it's a
Yeah.
huge loss, but I feel like the Padres still have enough depth in that pitching rotation. They have a strong bullpen, and that's why they were buyers in this trade deadline to make some noise this run. Now the question is, people are asking Padres, Dodgers, who will take the win? That's your call, Carlos. I think you're rooting the Padres this year, man. Are you having doubts with your Dodgers going forward? You think it's going to be a 5-game series there? It's a tough one, man, for this Dodger team.
Okay, so if you were to ask the Dodger fan Carlos, I think he would say, "Let's go Dodgers all the way." I don't want anybody to get it twisted to say, "Oh, he's a Dodger fan, but he's going against them." No, then I have baseball Carlos. The baseball fan that looks at chemistry, looks at the fans being biased, because this is a baseball show. Like, I can't be biased towards a team. I have to be unbiased. So honestly, I do see the Padres play good baseball. There, like I said, it's just the Dodgers did beat them this last series, so you gotta take that into account. They did play at Dodger Stadium. They played against Dylan Cease. They picked. I mean, they batted against the best lineup. I mean, pitching duo against the Padres, so they did pretty well. So it's going to be a good series, but I do see the Padres moving a little bit further. And the Dodger fans might hang me because of this, but I'm just seeing how good they are, dude. And you can't deny that. You can't deny how good the Padres have been playing. And maybe this is your year. Maybe this is the only year they're going to be able to do it all the way, when the Dodgers have a little bit of injuries here and there that won't be able to like show out, So right now, this is a chance for them to do it. And I hope, that if they
man.
do it, they go all the way.
You can't step foot in Dodger Stadium anymore, Carlos. I don't know what's going on with you. You're changing your mind. But
right?
I think you're totally right. This Padres team is just going through something special this year. It's been the best team they've had in paper since they've been in the franchise. This is their only chance to win a World Series, guys. You guys got to remind yourself, this Padre team has never won. These fans are feeling something special is going to happen this year. They lost their owner. He passed away earlier this year, and they decided, hey, we're going to turn the page around, and we're going to bring something positive to the city of San Diego. So,
yeah,
man, let's just hope this Dodger team comes out to play this October, and it's not a repetition of other years. There's a lot of Dodger fans that are ready for another parade. So we'll see what happens. Hey, what's going on, Felix? Thank you for stopping by. How's everything out there? We got Neto saying it's Astro over. Man, it is over. Poor Astro team. If you could see their faces, Bregman, Spurlander, they couldn't explain what really happened, but they got slapped in the face by this young Tiger offensive team that their old manager just came out to punch him in the face and try to make a name for himself again, to prove that he's the reason why this Astro team was really important back in the days, because of him.
Yeah. They want to revoke my Dodger card. You can't revoke my Dodger card. Why? I'm just saying truth. I'm just speaking the truth. Look, if we had Glass now, if we had, all our pitchers on there, then I'll say different. I just feel like this is the one year that I mean, I don't know, dude. I just feel like it'll surprise me if the Dodgers win the World Series. I'll put it that way. And if you're a Dodger fan and you think they're gonna go all the way, you're thinking kind of like a Braves fan. And no hate against the Braves. I'm just saying the Braves walked in with a limp into the playoffs. You didn't have your top stars. If you were thinking that you were gonna meet the Padres, I'm sorry, it just wasn't gonna happen. But I just feel like the Dodgers have to walk in there and be ready to fight. And if I see that from them, man, it's gonna be dope. But I don't know.
And you can't tell me that Machado's not excited, Felix. Machado is ready to go back to LA and prove that he is one of the greater third basemen out there in the MLB. You saw that play he made from third today from his butt. He still managed to get that throw in second, get him out. He's a great player. We mentioned how great of an IQ this guy has, and he's one of the best third basemen out there. We saw Neto here saying Musgrove's out with an elbow injury, Anybody know how serious it is? It's not looking good, guys. It looks like Musgrove may be out of the postseason. I don't see him coming back with any type of elbow injury. It's too soon, right,
It's too
Carlos?
soon. Yeah, it's too soon. We won't know what we won't know until tomorrow until do an MRI if they do it today. If they already had done it, I don't know. We'll see, and we'll keep you guys posted for that for sure.
I mean, you
You
could
know,
just tell the catcher of the Padres. Sorry to cut you off, but
yeah.
Kyle Higgy. Oh my God, I can never say his name. Higgy, the one stopped in the middle of the game and was like, "There's something's wrong with Musgrove." So
Yeah.
it was something serious for him
Yeah.
to stop him
Either
there. You know, when he was
Either
balling.
that or they talked about it in the dugout and they said, "Hey, you know what? I have a little bit of discomfort in my elbow or something." We don't know what happens in the dugout. It could happen to where, "Hey, man, I started to feel something in my elbow, but I want to go out there anyway. If I'm already feeling it, like, why not let me test it out?" And he did throw pitches, and then when he threw that slider or whatever it was, he threw it at a 76 mile per hour when he was throwing it at 86. So it dropped 10 miles. The catcher knew it was something wrong, so we'll wait and see what happens with that. So next series, man. I know the wild card hasn't finished, but we can go ahead and predict. We have 5 minutes before we get off. It's not the whole power hour today. It's just 30 minutes. We just wanted to keep you up on date to see what teams are moving on and what teams are playing tomorrow. So we do
Okay, I think we have
know
to answer
that
this
American.
question.
Go for it.
We have to answer this question. What do you think Shohei's going to do this postseason, man? I guess it's his first postseason for Shohei. Is he going to live up to expectations? I think we need to answer that one. He's facing
For
a
sure, dude.
tough Padres team. He has to live it up. It's $70 million contract for this year. He better live it up and perform like he has to.
Okay, I think he is, dude. He's gonna show up. He likes the big moment. He likes to be center stage. We saw it in the WBC. We saw how good he was, pitching and hitting. Remember when there was the Mexico game? They were down a run, and he got that double or triple, whatever it was, and he got the team started. So seeing how big that moment was, and you're going to put that in the MLB because you have MLB players in the WBC as well. He's going to do something big, and if he doesn't do it, it's going to eat him alive, man. And I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't.
I have a feeling that Shohei's going to deliver like he always does. Now the question is, will the remaining Dodger offensive players do the same? You know, Mookie didn't look the same. Freddie Freeman's dealing with that ankle injury now. We're not sure if he's going to get some playing time going forward. There's a lot of question marks for Dodger fans, and I think we'll find out this Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's go on to the predictions. Let's do it.
The AL first. Don't go to the World Series. Just say the matchup, who's going to win, and then we'll go to the AL championship, I guess. So we'll do that. Let's go to the first matchup.
We have the Tigers versus the Guardians. Who do you have, Carlos? Here?
That's a divisional game, dude. And I hate choosing divisional games. I really do, because I never get them right. It's because they always fight and they always like play hard against each other because they see each other more than the other teams. So like I think the Tigers playing this series and then going into Cleveland, I just feel like it's going to be kind of tough. But I'll give the Cleveland the edge because they do have pitching and they do have hitting. They get a little bit of that runs, and that the Tigers struggle to get a lot of runs. So, I mean, I just have to pick Cleveland this one. I'm gonna go Cleveland. Cleveland in 5. I'll do 5. I'm giving the Tigers a little bit more credit than a lot of people think, right?
I'm actually going for the Tigers. I've seen enough. You take down this Astro powerful team that we have to deal with for the past 7 years, and you're able to knock them out. AJ Hinch is just doing something special with this team, and they're the hottest team in baseball right now. They're finding ways just to win and scrappy type team, but I have a feeling they'll be able to knock down the Guardians, given that the Guardians had some time off, and it's going to affect them big time. I don't think the Guardians were even expected to be here this year, and having this long layoff is going to affect them very much. With a hot team that's coming in hot like the Tigers, I feel like the Tigers will edge them out here.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. We're against each other again. That's a good thing. All right. Next series, man. Royals, Yankees. Who do you got?
No, I think me and you would probably agree that this is the Yankees' best year to make it far, and I think they had just enough power to overtake this Royals bullpen and pitching as well.
We thought the Padres or stadium was Petco was super loud. Wait till you start hearing the Yankee fans on Saturday. they're going to be loud as hell too. So Kansas City is not a team that they're going to be able to push over and beat up. You have veterans like Salvador Perez that's going to tell these young kids like, hey man, you guys need to toughen up. And if someone steps up to you, you need to step back on them, because that's what the young Yankees do. They like to bully the teams like they do the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Tampa Bay Rays never fell back. So these are the guys that need to step up, and I'm pretty sure Salvador Perez is going to tell them like, hey, dude, this is where we need to step up, and it's going to be a good experience for Kansas City, I think. But I just have to pick the Yankees, and I think I'm gonna just pick the Yankees in 4. I just feel like they might sneak one out. They might sneak one out. Remember that the Yankees are suffering with pitching too, so.
Okay.
And that's everybody. That's everybody. And of course, we already talked about the Padres and the Dodgers. So, did you get your pick? Did you give the pick for that one?
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't really say it, but I think we both agree that Padres just have enough depth, and I think we both agree that the Padres will win this one as well.
Yeah.
You know, all baseball experts in ESPN are choosing the Padres.
80%.
80%.
80% of ESPN analysts are saying that the Padres are going to win. But let's bring in Carlos, the Dodger fan, and he's going to say, yeah, no, the Dodgers all the way, of course. But still, it'll still surprise me if the Dodgers win the World Series. Damn, why am I like that? Damn, I should be confident in my team and say, no, they're going to go all the way. It doesn't matter. It's just if I'm like that, then why have a baseball show, right?
No,
Might
definitely.
as well just have a Dodger show.
You're totally right. And then in the next series, we have the Phillies facing either the Mets or the Brewers. I know we still haven't finalized that series there. We still have one more game to go. But do you think the Phillies could overtake either of those two teams?
Definitely, dude. They can take the Brewers. The Brewers didn't do that well against the Phillies. The Phillies did beat them up on the 6 games. They swept them in the beginning of the season, and the last series, I think the Brewers won 2 out of 3, which we talked about how the Phillies were playing and how they went into the playoffs. But I think the Phillies they're just gonna overpower. They got the pitching, they got the hitting. They just gotta click on the right cylinders. I feel like this might get him going. And if they play the Mets, it's a rivalry in the East. And this is where I feel like the Mets can be that scrappy team and get into the Phillies' head. But the Phillies are going to have way more star power to beat the Mets. But yeah, the Phillies have it. I feel like they have it a little bit easier, and so we'll just have to wait and see tomorrow who's gonna be the rival for the Phillies. It kind of must suck for the Phillies because they still don't know who they're playing. They still can't go and say, "Hey, we need to start scouting this pitcher already because this is what we're doing," right? So that's what sucks when you go to when you're playing the 3-game series and the teams that are waiting, they still don't know who they're playing. So yeah.
Definitely. Well, anybody listening out there, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. If this is your first time listening, we'll be here on 2 times a week trying to give your reactions to these playoff games, and hope you guys could join us after every baseball game. We have Chicks Who Loves Baseball saying if Padres don't win, Machado might throw a tantrum like he always does. He's the biggest man-child. My kid has a better control to him. That is pretty funny, man. I'm excited to see how it all plays out for Machado. I know he really wants to be the Dodgers so badly. He sleeps and dreams about the Dodgers 24/7, and so do
All
Padres
fans
fans.
do.
I think
All fans.
Have you seen the guy that just came out with a Kershaw jersey? He was at Petco Park with a Kershaw jersey, walking around the stands, getting booed up, and this guy just decides to take it off and pull up a Padres shirt. It's like, wow, he changed on the Dodgers. Turned on.
All San Diego is mad at Hosmer because Hosmer said, "Why even saying beat LA if the series is not even over with the Braves? It's like we're living rent free on your own stadium. Like, stop it. So sometimes you don't want to say things like that because you might wake up a beast. I'm just saying."
Right,
So
right, man. I totally agree. Eric Hosmer,
yeah.
Padre fans are not too happy with him, especially
No.
he didn't deliver for San Diego at the time he was there. So
Yeah.
he probably should have kept his mouth shut here. We have Neto speaking for us here in the comment section saying he seems that Shohei has unlocked something in the rest of the guys for the past couple of weeks. He's cautiously optimistic that something great will happen for this Dodger team. And man, we're going to be an exciting 5-game series, Dodger Padres. I think that's the series that everybody's looking forward to. 2 West Coast teams battling that out for the NLCS, and we're going to be here to provide you all the latest insights and news for that Dodger Padres series. So stay tuned. We should be on Monday night, right, Carlos? I think we're looking for Monday night this week, and then probably checking in next Thursday. I know we're kind of having our days mixed up right now, but just make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell button to make sure you stay up to date with all the latest news here at Real Talk Baseball.
And I just want to say, Neto, like, you keep me on check, man. You have to tell me that, hey, man, you're a Dodger fan. You can't be saying that stuff. Chicks who loves baseball too, you need to tell me these things too. Like, hey, man, you're a Dodger fan. You need to say more positive things. I am saying positive things. It's just, you gotta be neutral. You know, I gotta
You're
stay
kind of
neutral.
nervous. Just say you're nervous.
I'm always nervous. Baseball for me is a nerve-wracking game. Like, if you see me watch a game, I won't be sitting down. I'll just be looking at every pitch, every little move that they're making. I guess I'm studying the game within the game.
Definitely,
So,
definitely. That's what baseball nerds do, bro. They just
yeah.
watch baseball. They look at the minor details, and that's what makes a great fan and makes you like so knowledgeable.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's it. Hey, we made it, dude. We went through all 4 games. Hopefully we don't get to see a disappointing series, the upcoming series. Hopefully we get to see a good game tomorrow. And we'll try to get on as much as we can after every series, because we do want to bring up the I guess we talk baseball like we always do, but we want to have those questions. Thank you for being so active today on the comments, because we really need that. We were supposed to get on Instagram and it didn't work for me. I guess I got the wrong link, and the live didn't let me do it, but we'll try to get it on for the next one. But from all of it, go ahead before we go. Last mentions, go ahead.
Oh man, well, everybody here that's tuned in, thank you for watching the show today, and we hope to see you guys for the next episode. Be here with our reactions and just talk baseball. That's what we love to do here. And like Carlos said, thank you for stopping by. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, from all of us here on Real Talk Baseball and CarloBaseball, this is ErnieOrange. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.